Go.
Hello, this is an idea session for preschool teachers. And so I would just want to give you ideas on organizing, on decorating, and on room arrangement. So I'm going to give you a tour of some of our classrooms. First of all of our classrooms have 4 centers. And if you come over here, I'll show you, this is the art center, and all of them have that in it. And it's well stocked with things that children can choose to play with. They all have a book and puzzle center with a loft, and it's a reading area for a little bit more quiet area. They all have a technology center with computers or iPads, and then they all have table and carpet games where they can come and choose whichever thing that they want to play with, and they can play at the table with a friend or on the carpet. So that is in every classroom, those 4 aspects. We also have dramatic play activities over here, and all of them have different play activities that they can change out. Everything that you see in this room, all the ceiling danglers, the bulletin boards, the name tags, all the decorations on the back wall, they all get changed out every month. And so that keeps it nice and fresh for the kids, and it keeps everything exciting when they come in. We always have kids help with the decorations, so at least one item in the room is made by the children themselves. Then also we have a lesson board, and every classroom has this lesson board, and this is kind of an open lesson plan. This tells the parents what they're working on this week, what papers they're doing, what their memory verse is, what the concepts are that they're working on, and the teacher can teach right off of this board. Then if you look over here, we have lots of nice cabinet space. This is our other pre-K classroom, and all the doors get changed, and we try to do nice big decor on that. We also have a parent information area in every classroom, and so that puts up things that the parents can reference really quickly. And then we have these signs that tell them where they are if they come to the room and they're not here. Here's the back of the door. Those also change and each month. So all of our rooms are sort of similar. We have the cots stacked over here, and then we have the teacher area. So everything over here is organized so that and we teach the children not to come over here behind the teacher area. That gives them like a separated space. You can see how she has her books and puzzle center, and she has her table games and carpet games. She has her technology area, kind of the same idea, and here's her art center over here. So this is the learning lab, and this room is the best example of classroom layering, is what I call it. So classroom layering, there's 4 layers of a classroom. If you look up, this top part is called the canopy. And so this brings the ceiling down, it gives a warmth, it creates an atmosphere of the room. So when you look into the room, you just have this feeling of this atmosphere. It could be like a fun circus atmosphere, it could be kind of a cozy one, just you can do different things. Then the next layer down is called the emergent layer, and so these are large pictures, posters. You can see this one right here. They always have a caption, so that gives meaning to that poster or that bulletin board. And so this is for the passerby. This is for the person that might come in here very quickly but leave. But when they look in, it's just an immediate message that is given out to a person that is not a resident of the room but is just a passerby or someone that drops off and picks up. Then you have the next layer down, which is called the understory. And so this is information for the significant adults that are in the classroom. So if a parent's in the classroom, the teachers that are in the classroom, this is information that they can access very quickly. Of course, this doesn't mean much to children, but children do ask what these are, and the teacher can extend their learning if they have interest in learning more. So this has large graphics, but it also has words that explain things. Here's to support your missionaries kids with prayer. And so these are different aspects of the room that will speak to the adults or the teachers in the classroom and give more information about a topic. in order to help children learn more. Classroom, the bottom layer is called the forest floor. The forest floor is set up for children. So this area right here would be a good example, this little TP, which kind of reinforces what they're learning. They're doing children at home and children around the world right now. And so they put a picture of what's in there, and then they have made it a word-rich environment. So they've labeled each one with words. Even though the children can't read, that helps them to understand that words have meaning. And then they do sometimes learn sight words this way. And then they have it all in color-coordinated rows. And so that's all set up for children to make sense of their environment and to be able to clean up themselves, to be able to categorize, sort and categorize. And so these are all things that we want children to learn. Also, we'll put these out whenever the time comes, but we try to bring literature into every aspect of their learning. And so these are books that they've read in the library, but we have a copy of them in here so that whenever they go over leaves in here or whatever, they can refer back to the same book that they read in the library. Also, every room should have rules of the room, and these are the science rules. Rule number 1, science is fun. Rule number 2, Miss Edward loves you. So as you can see, it has like a little rhythm to them, and they rhyme. And so that's also teaching as they go through the rules, and then she can refer to these at the beginning of the year, and then throughout the year she can just refer to these rules and to help remind children of what's expected in the classroom. So this is the learning lab. They come in here for sensory play, for experiments, for lots of fun things that go with a theme that they're learning. And this is a play to learn room. And so we have it set up to go with whatever our themes are that we're in. So it changes 8 times a year depending on what theme we're on. So it starts out at the beginning of the year as a jungle. This whole room has vines and trees and animals all over the place. And so then it turns to community helpers, which is what it is now. It's a kids' town. And so we have all these centers where the kids can play as different things, different roles, different areas. Then it goes to an Indian village, and we have teepees, and we have a little fire area, and we have costumes. In this room we have puppets, we have costumes, we have props, we have different things in the block center. So everything changes each unit. We have the same aspects in the room, but we just have different toys and props that we put in there. So right over here is all of our dress-up area, and we try to keep this tucked back in the corner because this stays messy all the time, which is fine. We want it to be messy because that means kids are playing with it. And then we have a little loft, and we turn this loft into all kinds of different things. And this is really nice, this little chalkboard table, because it can be a little planting station. Right now it's a little restaurant area. It turns into like a little jungle theme pieces and little animals and things like that. So this can change often with whatever our theme is. So this is a great little room, and when kids come in here, So in this room, all you need are 2 pieces of furniture. A nice chair for the teacher to sit in, to read and tell stories and sing from, and then 1 unit like this. We change out the books every unit, and so right now it's community helpers. The teacher that brings her small group in here, she has a lesson plan right here. Right now we're on Children Around the World, and so she has which book that they read each day, which activity, and which song. So they have an iPad, they sing with songs and activities that are on the iPad, and then they read a book each day. Then they have little incentives for kids to sit and listen. These are all the books, and so you can see that different things that they're learning in class that are being reinforced through literature. And then there's little activity things. They have reading buddies down here, and so they can use that for discipline during to try to help kids be quiet, to give them little things to hold while they're reading, or at the end after they get finished with the book, then they're able to choose books out of here, and these are board books that are a little bit more sturdy. And so they can go to different places in the room with a friend or by themselves and with their little reading buddies, and they can pick books to read. We change these out every unit also so they don't get tired of the same books. And then of course they have a little CD player. And so that's all you need, just a little small room. It doesn't have to be very big, and it's carpeted where the kids can come and sit on the floor and come have library and music time. So this is our kids' gym, and we try to use this all year round, but especially during inclement weather, so they have a place to go for large motor play. And it's just a small room, but they're able to come in here, and so we have different large motor things set up: basketball, tumbling. Then there's this that they can climb on, but we make sure it's not too high. It's only about 2.5 feet off the ground, so if they fall into carpet, if they slide off. These are child-sized gym equipment, so this is a little stair stepper, and then a little treadmill, and a little exercise bike. We also have these that we can set up. We have a whole system of these. We can make obstacle courses throughout the room, and so just to make it different, to change it up different days that they come in. You see we have teacher seating here and over there. We try to encourage the teachers not to clump together when they come into a room, but always one is sitting on one side, one is sitting on the other side of the room, just to make monitoring easy. We also have large motor blocks and balls and different equipment here that can just be popped up really easily. Trampoline is here, and of course they love jumping on that and just getting all their energy out. Now this is the teacher supply area. This is just a little bitty closet in here, but I feel like that we've made the most out of what we have. We have these shelves that we inherited that were put up, and so what we did is we bought 3 different sizes of these plastic bins. We like it because you can see through it. We have everything labeled. Don't expect anything to get put back unless you in the right place unless you label it. And they all have snap top lids, and so that keeps out mold, mildew, rodents, pests, whatever. And then we have these little ones because sometimes you have supplies that don't need a bigger container, and so we have all of these up here on the top, and then it gets larger as you go, and then these larger buckets go down on the bottom. This is for all of our border, so for our bulletin boards and things. This is for our larger reams of paper, and this is on wheels actually, so we can roll it out. And these cut, so you can pull your paper out and cut it to the size you like. Over here are all of our books, and so for our library, we just have one library shelf, and then we pull out different books. So we'll put, like we already went through Animal Kingdom, we put those back, and then we have community helpers for Unit 2. So those are out right now. Those are getting ready to come back. When they come back, we'll put our cultures out. So these are all of our units that we go through. We're going to take you into an area where most people don't get to see. This is the storage closet. So in here we have all of our storage supplies. We got these shelves because they're easily adjustable without any tools. You can just adjust them up and down to fit whatever size that you need. And so we line up all of our things here, all of our toilet paper and paper towel products, all that goes on here. And then these are all of our first aid supplies, our tools, our teachers' mailboxes, more gloves, cups, all that kind of thing. Larger boxes can go up here with light things in them. These are filled with spoons and forks and knives, so teachers can quickly come in and access them. And then we have the paint that's in our room, so we can do touch-up paint. Now here is another storage area. This was a furnace closet, and we wanted to use the middle space because there's a lot of space in the middle. It's easy to get into, and it sort of separates 2 storage areas. This one is for the office, so this has all my office supplies, my specialty papers, things for advertising, and so that's all here, just easily accessible. Over here is all my folders and curriculum, the binder system, all of our free giveaways, our envelopes, and all of our extra things are over here. And then on this side is our hall decor. And so you can see here that this is like the March hall decor, the May, the summer, the star performers, February, December. So our larger items, we just made a smaller shelf and just put those up here, just slid those on there. But basically, whenever it's time to change out the hallway, we change out all the things that are on the walls and hanging from the ceiling in the hallway every month. And so we just come, we can just put the other away and grab the next one out. Makes it really easy. So if you just come follow me back through here, I'll show you the other side of this area. It's kind of dark back in here, but this is all the storage for the science lab. And so we have units, and so each thing is labeled with what unit it is and then what is in there. And then these bags here are hanging bags, and they're nice because they're plastic. They have fold over flaps, and so that kind of keeps the elements out of them. And we hang these up, and so these have also unit 3, so they're labeled with the different units. And so this is all the posters and decor and all that for that. And then if you just come right through here, you can see all the way down. It's the same thing. We try to use all the same types of bins, white lids. For one, they're the cheapest bins that you can find. And then they have just like a smoky see-through, so they're not real clear, but you can see through them and you can see in them what's in them. And then by using these, it gives kind of uniformity because they will stack nicely together, but then also it has a nice clean look and feel, and you can use all different types of sizes and shapes, and so it really suits your purposes well whenever you do that. So this is all of our supplies for the whole year. And then you just keep going around here. Everything has to stay 30 inches away from your units, so we try to get our measuring tape out and keep everything out of the way. Now I'm going to take you on a tour of my office. Outside my office, I have a bench here for waiting, and then there's pictures of the teachers for the parents to look at, and if they can't remember who a teacher is, then we have the teachers' pictures up here, and there's information about myself. Here's a little form holder that has forms with explanations of what to use them for staff and for the families. So come on in, and I'll show you my office. Over here is a little center, a little coffee center. So this is for large amounts of coffee or just for 1 cup at a time. And this coffee center says to people, come on in, have a seat, drink some coffee. I want to talk to you. And so, so we have it well stocked here, and then we have all the supplies underneath here, and then I have all my extra packets to give out to parents under here. Right here are our packets for parents with all the information that they need to enroll. And then I always have a few coloring pages in case they bring a child in that's a little rambunctious and wants to get down and play. We give them that. And then over here's my desk. Of course, I always like to keep everything put away and nice and clean on the desk. I have little books right here that have toys for children that are kind of disguised on my desk in case we need that, because after all, I'm a preschool director. And then we have a little walkie-talkie, so this helps me to open the front door. And I love my little hangman right here. He just hangs on the side of my desk, and so I don't have to reach around and put things in. I can just plug things into my computer this way. Then back here, I have a little areas to put all the current work that I'm working on, all my files. And I always make sure all the files have locks on them. This is for my assistant back here. There's a little lighted area for her. And then our great big honking copier that does everything under the sun, which we love. But we have cabinets here and drawers for files and all that. We have all of our cleaning supplies right here for the office to keep everything nice and neat and clean. And this is for papers and taking notes for phone calls and all that. And then all my envelopes are in there. So you see I put all the essentials that actually run this office away behind closed doors, and then I put just little pops of things out that I can access easily. And then these are all my degrees and licensures, and then this is our mission statement. So I always try to keep that right in the front of my mind.